All right, so we're diving deep today, folks.
Deep dive time.
That's right. And we're tackling a creature, I gotta say, pretty impressive. The red-headed vulture.
Sometimes known as the Asian King Vulture.
Right, King Vulture. That's got a ring to it. And we're basing this deep dive, on what you sent over earlier, that text excerpt all about these birds.
Yeah.
Should be pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Definitely cool. A lot to uncover,
For sure. So, where do we even start? You're the expert here.
Well, we got to lay some groundwork.
Okay, great.
Yeah, the basics.
Yeah.
So this red-headed vulture, massive bird of prey, found all across South and Southeast Asia. Real adaptable, too.
Adaptable meaning?
Like they can handle different places,
Yeah.
open country, wooded areas, even spots close to, well, us, humans,
Yeah.
especially where there's livestock.
Oh, interesting. So they're not, totally scared of people then?
Not necessarily.
Huh. But, okay, I gotta say, what grabbed me right away, it's their look.
Their look.
Yeah, like their appearance, right? Yeah. I mean, it's like something out of a comic book. That bare red head and neck.
Oh, yeah, and that jet black body.
Exactly. Super striking contrast, right?
Right, and that bare skin isn't just for show. It's functional, When they're feeding, all up in those carcasses, it helps keep them clean. No feathers to get all nasty.
Makes sense. So it's like nature's way of keeping things hygienic.
Basically. But the red, that color's something else. And get this, how intense the red is, it can actually change.
Change. How?
Depends on the bird's mood or even their health.
Whoa, seriously? So a super stressed vulture is going to have a brighter red head? That's kind of wild.
Yeah, it's like a built-in mood ring.
Awesome. And speaking of awesome, their size, right? These aren't little birdies.
No, definitely not. They're huge. Wingspan can reach almost 9 feet.
9 feet? That's
Try fitting a small car through a doorway. That kind of scale.
Wow. Okay, King Vulture is definitely fitting then. But here's the thing, right? They're facing some serious trouble.
Yeah, they're listed as critically endangered, and that's, well, it's not good.
Not good at all. What's causing that? Mainly.
It's mostly this veterinary drug, diclofenac.
Diclofenac.
Yeah. So when livestock's been treated with it and the vultures eat those carcasses, it messes them up. Kidney failure usually leads to death.
Man, that's rough. It's like a medicine meant to help animals is hurting these guys.
A tragic irony, that's for sure.
Big time. And it makes you think, right, about how connected everything is in the ecosystem. Even doing something good can have bad side effects we don't expect.
Absolutely. You take out these vultures, it's like pulling a thread from a tapestry. The whole thing can unravel.
So it's not just about losing these birds, it's bigger than that.
Right. They're like nature's cleanup crew. They eat the dead stuff, stop diseases from spreading. Without them, more feral dogs, rats, all sorts of problems.
And that affects us too, right? Humans, not just the environment.
Exactly. It's all interconnected. Now, you might be thinking, if this cleanup job is so important, why don't these vultures roll in big flocks?
Yeah, like those other vultures we see on documentaries, right? All bunched up.
Exactly. But red-headed vultures, they're different. More solitary or in small groups, tops.
Huh. That is interesting. Why is that, do we know?
Well, it's a bit of a puzzle, but we got some theories.
Theories. Lay 'em on me.
Their beaks, they're strong, can tear through tough hide. Maybe they don't need a gang to open up carcasses.
Makes sense.
And maybe with their solo style, they can spread out more, find food that's more scattered.
Like they found their own way to make it work in their environment.
Exactly. Adapted to the niche they got. But gotta circle back to the endangerment, Is there any good news here?
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Any hope for these guys?
There is, actually. People are waking up to the problem, and that's led to some serious conservation work.
Like what?
Well, in India, for example, they've got this vulture conservation breeding program.
Catchy name. What do they do?
They're breeding these vultures in a safe environment, then releasing them back into the wild, trying to boost the population.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So, humans are stepping up to fix what they kind of messed up in the first place.
Yeah, you could say that. And there's another win. Remember diclofenac?
The drug?
Yep. It's banned in a bunch of countries now.
Really?
And that's already making a difference. Some areas, vulture numbers are actually going up. Slowly, but it's progress.
That's awesome to hear. Shows what we can do when we understand the issue and will actually do something about it.
Absolutely.
But these vultures, they're not just important for, the environment. They have a cultural significance too, right?
Right.
Especially in South Asia.
Right. In some places, they're seen as sacred, almost. Symbols of purification, renewal, that sort of thing.
Wow.
And there's this thing, sky burials. It's a tradition where they lay the deceased out for the vultures to, well, consume.
Yeah, I've heard of that. It's like they're part of the cycle of life and death in a very literal way.
Exactly. So it's not just about a bird, it's their whole place in these cultures, how people view them.
Powerful stuff. Okay, so we've covered a lot. Their looks, their role in keeping things clean, the dangers they face, the people fighting for them. But what about the future? Where do we go from here?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah, I bet. What's your take?
There's hope, definitely, but the red-headed vulture, they still got a tough road ahead. It's going to take continued effort, conservation, protecting their habitats, and getting communities involved, too. If we drop the ball now, that's it.
So it's like we're at a turning point.
You could say that. The next few years, they're going to be crucial.
Man, that's a lot of weight on our shoulders.
It is.
Here's something to think about for everyone listening. Imagine the world, not just the environment, but like the culture, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Without these birds, what would that look like?
It's a question worth asking ourselves.
Definitely. And hey, if this deep dive's got you curious, don't stop here. There's a ton more to learn about the red-headed vulture and how we can help them thrive.
Do some digging. You might be surprised what you find.
Couldn't said it better myself.
It's fascinating stuff.
And important stuff. All right, folks, that's our deep dive for today.
Until next time.
Keep exploring.